Greetings. Welcome to the Republican Climate Channel. This is a special day. I have to show you this desk. Now, it may look like an ordinary old wooden desk. It's child size, that's why I can't really quite fit my legs under it. But this desk was bought in Lindsay, California from Jane Beeson in about 1969. Now, that may not mean anything to you, but Jane Beeson was the aunt of Richard Nixon. And Richard Nixon lived in Strathmore, which is very close to Lindsay, California, during part of his childhood. And he lived with his aunt, and she had this desk. It was just the right size. It was about from the right period. I bet Richard Nixon sat at this very desk, and I am not making that up. This is really true. I just had this desk sitting around in my house. It gets dust on it, stuff piles up on it. But today I brought it out for a special purpose because there is a special announcement that the Republican Party has just made to the world. This is the week of the Republican National Convention. For many years, we have all known that the Republican Party is the party of love. They say only nice things about people so that everyone will love them. They gladly accept the label bleeding hearts for themselves because their hearts flow out with love, not just toward the middle class and poor, such as the victims of bank robo-signing, but even toward the world of nature. You know, birds and stuff like that. They embrace the bleeding heart ideal because this term refers to the bleeding heart of Jesus Christ. Now, nowhere has Republican love been more obvious than in the pronouncements of commentators such as Rush Limbaugh, Sean Hannity, Bill O'Reilly, etc. For years, liberal writers, such as myself, have referred to them as bloviators, but we seem to have been wrong. Because you see, every word that has come from Rush Limbaugh's mouth has been loving and nourishing, each word an attempt to help his listeners by giving them truly constructive advice about how to make their world, and the world for all of us, a better place. Even Jesus himself would have had a hard time matching the love that Republicans have showered upon their listeners. Have you ever seen a more loving person than Donald Trump? Now, when the religious right Republican commentators make it abundantly clear that everyone who disagrees with them, in even the most minor detail, is a Satan-possessed terrorist God-hater, this is only because they care about us and they wish us to be saved from hell by worshiping them. Pat Robertson, who pours his words of love from Trinity Broadcasting Network, is the ultimate Christian Superman, and he consistently proclaims the gospel of republicanism. Now, so great has been their love that the Republican religious right deserves every last penny of their wealth. Take, for instance, Paul and Jan Crouch, owners of Trinity Broadcasting Network. They have used millions of dollars of money sent by their worshipers to purchase numerous lavish mansions, a luxury jet, and even a $100,000 motorhome for their dogs. Now, surely their mansions and the comfort of their dogs is more important than a few thousand children in Bangladesh. Isn't that what Jesus would have said? Don't you agree? But all of this is about to change. As at the Republican convention, Governor Chris Christie said, as quoted by Fox News, I cut and paste this from them, so it has to be correct, "I believe we have become paralyzed by our desire to be loved." Christie said leaders chronically opt to do what is popular, but tonight, I say enough. Tonight, we're going to choose respect over love. So, the Republican Party is now going to command the kind of respect that one receives in the absence of love. Now, what kind of respect could this be? It cannot be the kind of respect that comes from doing a good job for your customers, since that is a form of love. Certainly it's not the kind of respect that comes from neighbors helping one another after a hurricane, such as one that almost hit the Republican convention. Both of these are forms of altruism, which Mitt Romney specifically rejected a couple of weeks earlier, before Christie's Sermon on the Mound. It must be the kind of respect that comes from force and intimidation. The kind of respect that a schoolyard bully receives from the other kids whose faces have been beaten into the dirt. Limbaugh called student Sandra Fluke a slut. Well, I wonder how far I would get. I have tenure at a university, but I wonder how far I would get if I called one of my unmarried mothers in my class a slut. I wonder how far I would get with that. Well, you see, from Limbaugh anyway, this is love speech. I wonder what respect speech would look like. And before you know it, the whole country will be dominated by a vast canopy of Republican respect. I'm looking forward eagerly to all of us non-Republicans and even the moderate Republicans being called slut, terrorist, communist, servant of Satan. I can hardly wait to live in this Republican utopia. Will you join me? Thank you for watching the Republican Climate Channel. Good night and good luck.